Hi, this is Gilbert
Hi.
Gottfried, and I'm here with my co-host Frank Santopadre, and this is Gilbert and Frank's amazing Colossal Obsessions.
It is. We're knocking them out. We're going through amazing
Yes.
Colossal Obsessions episodes
Yes.
to cover the summer, to cover August. Raybone is here.
Hello.
Always
That's all I got.
Always charismatic.
That's all I got.
We have two special guests sitting, two Daves. Dave Seidel.
Hello.
Hello, Dave. Dave is the lead systems engineer right here at Earwolf. He's a big fan of the show. He's a big friend of the show. If you love the Charles Fox episode, thank him because he's the guy that got that wonderful keyboard in here. He's still waiting for a thank you from Gilbert.
Yes, that was great.
And the Neil Sedaka episode to come. Dave and Jared O'Connell were kind enough to
Another great episode.
yes to provide us with needed music and tech. They're invaluable. They're big helps to the show. Also, Dave number 2, Dave Milstein.
Hello.
Hello, Dave. Dave, how did you describe yourself when I asked you how you wanted to be introduced?
I said I was a lawyer and a Jew.
There you go.
Which you don't find a lot of. That's a rarity. It's just like Jew comedy writers. I don't know where.
That makes me the rare Gentile comedy writer.
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the people that write all those Christmas songs.
So we've been doing these record collection episodes. We started with my record collection.
Yeah.
Weeks ago. We did Dara's record collection.
Yes.
We even did Dara's mom's record
Yes.
collection when we started to get real obscure. Raybone, we did one with Raybone. The less said about that one, the better.
Oh my God.
Paul brought in Lithuanian,
I can't believe you couldn't get that.
dialect records from the 20s. So Dave have been observing. They've been in the next room in the booth with Frank.
See, so they're observing Jews.
They're observing. He's quick. Very quick. And somebody among the three of us got the idea. Why don't you guys bring in your record collection and try to stump us? So they happen to be on the premises. Dave Milstein is a super fan. They're both fans, and they've brought us their record collection. So this one's going to be called Dave and Dave's Record Collection.
All right.
And we have not seen them. We do
Correct.
not know what the choices are. We've never met, as Kreskin says. Frank, they've been in touch with Frankie V. He's queued them up. You guys can figure out the rest. So they're going to try
Dave
to stump
is so
us.
talented. He's queued them up on his own computer.
How about
there.
that?
Yeah.
Dave Butcher, love that kind of guest that does that kind of preparation.
All right. So,
We'll start with Dave Seidel.
So
So how do you want to work it? You guys going to alternate, or are we going to do yours and then his?
Kind of it's a mishmash.
It's a mishmash.
Yeah, we got a lot of the same
Well, jump in
records.
anywhere.
All right. So, Frank, you might know this one.
Which
So
Frank?
Both Franks.
Okay, this
So,
is Seidel number one.
We'll see if Gilbert knows this one first.
Okay.
Nah. That's an obscure one.
All right.
Don't assume anything.
But do you know the name of your theme song?
I do because I chose it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to disqualify myself.
I do not know the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
I-
want to tell us?
Well, when we named the show the Amazing Colossal Podcast,
Yeah.
which was obviously named after a movie,
Yes.
The Amazing Colossal Man, because we wanted to give the theme and the feel of what this show was going to be about. And we went searching for a piece of library music, and we wanted something a little eerie, a little creepy, but a little retro 60s, a little Dick Dale. And then Gilbert's phone is going off.
That was our alternative theme.
Yeah.
We could have used Gilbert's phone.
It's called Vampire Strut
Correct.
by a guy naed Bob Bradley.
Very good.
You know,
Yes.
it's very much in the league with Telstar and
That's what I was trying to find.
Yeah, the Ventures or
Yeah.
Tolstoy.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
Tolstoy.
like da
Tolstoy.
da 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 da.
Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah.
going for.
Yes.
We're going for sort
There
of
was
that
also
hip,
what was that other
space
one?
age New York kind of surf.
Yes.
Right, that's another one.
Yes.
You know what's funny about
I got to
music?
take voice lessons from Gilbert.
We first put it on the show. It sounded strange, but with repetition, over time,
It's the signature song.
it's the signature.
Yeah.
It's inseparable from the show.
I know how to play it on guitar. Even.
You do?
Yeah.
In a future episode, will you do a live theme song for us?
Sure.
That's great. So you started with the hard one.
All right.
By the way, I'd like to remind people that Gilbert had no idea what the name of it was
Yes.
or the artist.
Or had he ever heard it before?
And
No.
what was the name of it again?
Vampire Strut.
Ah, I like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
It seemed right.
All right. Next up.
Oh,
Streaks on the china, never mattered before. Who
I know what that is.
When you drop kicked your jacket,
This guy really does listen to the
as you
show.
came through the door, no one glared, but sometimes things get turned around and no one spared.
We just lost this artist.
All hands look out below. There's a change in the status quo. Gonna need all the help that we can get. According to our new arrival, life is more than mere survival. We just might live the good
He's not gonna
life
get it.
yet.
no.
Now, why would you have picked that, I wonder?
Because it's the theme to Mr. Belvedere.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
If he was sitting on his balls at the time, he would have guessed it.
And I feel so proud because I was on the studio lot doing another show. And when the news broke that
when
Mr.
his balls
Belvedere was rushed to the hospital because he just sat on his own balls.
So,
The great Leon Redbone.
but it wasn't written by Leon Redbone.
Ooh.
It was written by Judy Hart Angelo and Gary Portnoy, who also wrote the theme to Cheers,
Cheers, yeah.
and Punky Brewster.
Yes. Yes.
And now,
Very good. Very good.
Christopher Hewitt wasn't the first person to play Mr. Belvedere.
Clifton Webb.
And what movie?
Also sat on his balls.
But see, him, it
movie?
wasn't as much weight. What?
What was the title? Paging Mr. Belvedere, or We Love Mr. Belvedere, or Mr. Belvedere Strikes Again, or something?
It was the 1948 film Sitting Pretty.
Oh, okay. I'm
Which
way
was
off.
then
Oh,
followed by-
that's a great title.
His name wasn't
Sitting
in the
Pretty.
title.
was followed by
But it was followed by two sequels, Mr. Belvedere Goes to College and Mr. Belvedere Rings the Bell.
There you go. Mr.
It
Belvedere.
rings the bell.
Clifton Webb from Titanic. The
Yes,
original
yes,
Titanic.
yes, I remember.
Yes, and Laura, of course.
And he's got that one line where his grandson decides not to leave the Titanic. And he says, I want to stay with you, Grandpa. And Clifton Webb says, I've never been as proud of you as I am this moment.
Beautiful. Never sat on his balls once, Clifton
Yeah.
Webb.
And if he did, he'd hardly feel it. He was a little man. With surprisingly large testicles.
Seidel has put some thought into these selections.
Yes.
These are
These
podcast
really are.
specific. Yeah.
These are
He's a clever fellow.
All right.
All
ready?
right.
Here we go.
Number 3.
Awesome! Something's happening to me. It's happening to me. It's a quiet kid I used to be. Not long ago, one I used to know. Someone so strange. Suddenly, my whole life has been changed. Turn inside out. Makes me wanna shout. Here I am. Take a look at me. I'm high as a kite and I'm twice as free like a dream that was meant to be. This time it's fun and ready to go away like it did before. I'm gonna hide from it anymore. I'm gonna fight like a fall. This time it's mine. Oh, it's my golden shot, and I'm ready to get what you got if you're ready or not. I was always playing hide and seek, hiding from the light. And by the light, I can see the light. Here I am. Take a look at me. I'm high as a kite and I'm twice as free like a dream that's meant to be. This time, it's mine. I'm not running away like I did before.
How do we stop
Not
him?
gonna hide like what before.
guess
Gonna
Frank has to
find
pull the levels
what I'm
down.
looking for.
You put the
This
dime in,
time,
you get the whole
it's
song.
fine. Sunshine, and I'm ready to get what you got. If you're ready or not. Ready or not. Oh, this is that horn
Thank you, Corky.
solo.
That was beautiful.
There's 5 minutes of our lives we'll never get back.
Did you ever hear anyone be ahead and behind
Yes.
in the same song?
Now,
feat.
okay. Now, Charlie,
Charlie Fox.
if you're out there, memorize that.
And then you let him come back.
Yes, and then come back just to do that. You could come in, play that, and then leave.
He's going to fly in.
Wow.
Just do that one.
I like the Zap thing.
Maybe David Pomerantz lives in New York.
Yes, yes.
Seidel, you're just pandering.
All right, now we're going to switch it up a
That
little.
was fun.
This next one is a Dave Milstein
Ooh,
pick.
moving
Yes.
on to the other Dave.
Yes.
Here we go.
Much has been said of the strumpets of yore,
Of wenches and baldy house queens by the score. But I sing of the baggage that we all adore. The landlord's daughter, you'll never love another. Although she's not the kind of girl to take home.
Raybone, any guesses?
Her ale it is lively and strong to the taste.
it is brewed with discretion, never with
It's
haste.
deep in thought.
Have all you like if
You might get it.
swear not to waste.
Wow.
Landlord's daughter, and when her name
We can assume it's called The Landlord's Daughter.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself stumped yet?
Yes, yes.
Consider
I'm
us
stumped.
very stumped.
All right,
Extremely
so
stumped.
that's from one of the greatest horror movies of all time, The Wicker Man.
Oh, okay.
Christopher Lee and that. I know. I even
Yeah.
know the scene.
Yeah. So yeah, not to give away anything too much about the movie to the listeners, but that's when Edward Woodward is starting to pick up on there being something very wrong with the people
Oh.
in that town, and they're singing about Britt Eklund there.
Also a podcast-specific song you chose. So you've been listening even to the mini episodes.
correct.
Yes, we picked The Wicker Man as a movie
Yes.
recommendation
Number
many moons
16.
ago. Wow, that was very impressive. Is that the scene where Britt Eklund is?
That's not the one where she's dancing. So there's two really great songs in that movie. There's that one, and then there's a song called Gently Johnny.
Right.
And that's the seduction one is Gently
A
Johnny.
wonderfully disturbing film.
Yes. I think
well-made film.
It's one of my top 5
a
horror films.
Terrific job.
And so a little trivia about that one. That was written by Paul Giovanni and performed by a group called Magnet, who appear in that scene as the musicians.
Wow.
And so there's actually a spiritual sequel. Robin Hardy made a sequel called The Wicker Tree.
Yes, Robin Hardy, the director.
Right.
Yes.
And now this one I know. Getting back to Zapped. I know who sang it. Do you know the group that sang Ready or Not?
Was it Magnet?
Nope.
J. Fred Poots?
No. It was Plain Jane.
Yes.
Yes.
Jane.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice choice, Milstein.
Thank you. And another side note, the author of The Wicker Man, or the screenwriter, Anthony Schaefer,
Sure.
who is Jewish, he wrote a treatment for a sequel called The Loathsome Lambton Worm that, again, without spoiling anything, it takes place immediately after The Wicker Man ends, and it takes off from there, but it never got produced.
Very impressive. I'm as stumped as Toady Fields. How about you?
All right, you ready? Here
Who's
we go.
next?
Next
Ready.
one. This is another Dave Milstein pick.
Boy, we've been embarrassing ourselves here so
Her
far.
head is growing bald. Her feet are twice her size. She says it's not her fault. She's got Marty Feldman eyes. She'll She'll confuse the hell out of you. She's got Marty Feldman eyes.
right, I think you can fade it.
It's obviously a parody of Kim Carnes' Betty Davis Eyes.
Now, I could give a hint if it would help.
Give a hint.
Think David Crosby.
Is it David Crosby?
It's not David Crosby. Well, it's Bruce Baum, the 80s
Oh, gee.
Speaking of funny comics,
Wow.
right. With an answer to
Wow.
a question
So
from a previous
in
show.
1981, he put out a single covering Kim Carnes' Betty Davis eyes, it's Marty Feldman's eyes. But, but now what I really wanted to ask both of you, and this is good, do you guys know the connection between Marty Feldman and Mad Magazine? Beyond him just appearing in it.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute. I know the connection between John Cleese and Mad Magazine.
That's not what I was thinking of.
Right.
Why don't you say who the artist,
So
author is?
specifically Sergio Aragonés
Yeah.
and Marty Feldman.
I don't know. Was there a Gru the Wanderer movie developed with Marty? With Marty in the lead? Shout out to Mark Evanier,
So
our pal.
in the early 2000s, DC Comics had an anthology comic series called Solo, where each issue was devoted to one particular artist and they could do whatever they want with it. In Sergio Aragonés' issue of Solo, he tells about the time he possibly killed Marty Feldman.
This is great trivia.
So he was a school friend of a director named Juan Lopez Moctezuma.
Love his work.
Yep, Alucarda.
No, I'd never heard of him.
So they were childhood friends. Then in 1981, he gets a phone call from Moctezuma asking, would you want to fly down to Mexico City, appear in a movie I'm making called To Kill a Stranger, which had Dean Stockwell in it.
Okay.
Which I've never seen.
Wow.
So he goes down there. He's playing a federale as an armed cop. Sergio Aragonés is dressed up as a Mexican police officer with a gun. He's taking a stroll around the set. He wanders into another movie set that it turns out is the set of Treebeard, which is a movie with Peter Boyle and James Mason and Cheech and Chong. And most importantly...
They changed the title to Yellowbeard.
I'm sorry, Yellowbeard.
Yeah.
Treebeard is Lord of the Rings.
That's okay.
And Marty Feldman's in it. So he finds out Marty Feldman is in this movie. He goes crazy. I need to meet Marty Feldman. He's my hero. He spies him on set, and he runs up to him. Marty Feldman, except forgetting he's dressed as a Mexican police officer with a fake gun. So he said Marty Feldman turned around and was, ah! And he's basically screaming at Marty Feldman that, like, I'm a cartoonist, but I love you, and I'm an actor. And Marty Feldman doesn't know what's going on. And so he leaves dejected. Marty Feldman just staring at him. He spends the whole night torturing himself that he blew this opportunity. So he says, the next day I'm going to make it right. He goes back to the set. He asks some actors, like, hey, where's Marty Feldman? I need to, apologize to him and to speak to him. They said, you didn't hear the news? He died last night.
Wow.
And so he's always wondered if he possibly played a role in that.
How spooky.
Ooh.
In his heart attack.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I'm just sad.
A bit of a downer.
See, Dave Milstein playing the role of Paul Raybone, bringing the room down.
That's my job.
But that's what Gino always says about me. Like in the middle of an interview, I'll have a funny story, everyone's laughing, and I'll go, your wife died in childbirth.
Yeah, you've been guilty of that a few times. We won't mention specifics. Good stuff, good trivia.
Yep. So there you
Very.
go.
Right.
Bruce Baum.
That's a chilly
What a
one.
mention. Okay, back to Dave Seidel.
Next up, here
Is
we
this
go.
you
Now,
again?
I heard a story with Bruce Baum that one time he was at an airport and another comic spotted him, and the other comic was Arabic, and I forget the comic's name, and he saw Bruce Baum, and he starts yelling, Bomb! Bomb! and they arrested him.
Gino's on the phone right now. There you go. You mentioned him, and there he is.
Hold him up to the mic.
All right, Gino, when you hear this episode. What's that?
Hold him up to the mic.
Put him up to the mic. Here. Gino, you there?
I'm here.
You're on the air. We're recording.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Gilbert was just saying how you tell him how he can ruin any interview by taking it into a dark direction.
What tragedy has he brought up now?
We're going to call you back right after this episode. We got two guys doing music.
Take your time.
We love you, buddy. Okay, Seidel, back to you.
All right, here we go.
She got a nose job, she got a nose job. It's now turned up instead of hanging down. She got a nose job, she got a nose job. And now she's the prettiest gal in town.
Gil, any takers?
No.
You both may have had this at some point.
Was it a guy who made comedy novelty records or a legit singer?
This is a comedy record.
Raybone, anything? Sorry to wake you, Paul. No guesses.
Okay, so there was 2 issues of Mad Magazine in 1962 that came with Flexi Records.
Oh!
And this is from Mad Twists Rock and Roll. Wow. And that's actually a doo-wop group called the Delwoods that I think never did much else.
I'm
other
so
than-
ashamed of myself
What else
for
could
not
you do
knowing
after
this
that?
great stuff. Impressive, impressive.
All right, next up.
This sounds so familiar.
Before Christmas and all through the castle, my monsters were having.
Oh, Lon Chaney Jr.
Oh, it's Monsters Holiday.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
We played this on an episode one Christmas.
All right. So,
Let me hear it.
Nice work. Was that a Seidel or a Milstein selection?
That was a Milstein.
Nice work, Dave.
Was this before or after Monster Mash?
It was after.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
cover.
it's such a ripoff.
Yeah. It actually has the same backup singers from
Yeah.
Monster Mash. And he recorded it in between filming Spider Baby.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So that's one of the 2 songs because Lon Chaney also sang the theme song to Spider
Right,
Babies.
yeah, which is great. That song is amazing.
Yes.
I can't remember how it goes.
Isn't Sid Haig in Spider Baby?
Yep.
Yeah. How about that?
all right.
Good calls, man. Good stuff.
Next up.
Are you entertained, Gilbert?
Oh,
How hard
yes.
these guys have worked.
This is
Yes.
this next one is my favorite song.
But
of the
I
week.
never got a T-shirt.
Go
I've
ahead.
been listening to the song over and over all
Okay.
week.
This is
I don't think
funky.
we've guessed one yet except for our own theme.
When the night is dark,
That's Burgess
you're
Meredith.
fast asleep
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
somewhere in Gotham.
Well, it's some Batman thing, but
I am the master of evil and dastardly deeds.
Is this from that Batman
On an
LP
innocent
from the
city,
60s?
Yep.
I
Batmania.
fiendishly feed.
But it was first released on a 45.
That's me.
This is great. Oh, this is gold.
All right. So you want to explain that this one's called The Capture. The A side is The Capture, so he gets
Great.
captured by Batman.
This is great.
And the B side is The Escape. So it ends with the Penguin getting away and really giving it to Burt Ward.
I beg your pardon?
oh boy.
Have you seen the Gorshin, the live version? It's on YouTube where he does the Riddler.
Wow, no.
On a
I've heard that song
on a
but I never-
variety show.
No.
It's great. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
People have put it on the Listener Society.
Now,
Great find.
I saw a trailer for a movie that looks scary as hell. And the funny, it stars Frank Gorshin
Yeah.
as George Burns.
Mr. Frank Gorshin.
Yes. Yeah. He did a one-man show as no,
George Burns.
this wasn't a one-man show. It's an actual movie
I gotta find this.
where and it's like I think they have other people. Maybe Rodney Dangerfield pops up in it, but he looks and sounds exactly like George Burns, but the movie looks beyond horrible.
Fascinating. Okay, we'll have to find out what that is. Yeah,
All right.
but that Riddler. Yeah.
I heard the recording of it, but I never saw that
He
live
does jokes
performance.
and he dances and he moves quite well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this next one's me.
Okay.
Even though we're on
Dave Seidel.
Frank Gorshin died of cancer from all the smoking.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just
Yeah. I believe emphysema.
Yeah, yes.
And then, he's a 2-pack-a-day smoker.
And then I think his daughter commits suicide when she found out that he.
I don't think that.
All right, so
Okay,
even,
Seidel, hit us.
even though we're on Stitcher Premium, it's time for a commercial break.
Mount Airy Lodge.
For reservations, phone
1-800-441-4410.
You own this as a record, huh? This was in your record collection.
You had to go to the WFMU record fair back in the day.
Wow.
The real deep cuts.
Wow. Boy, how many times have I heard that one?
Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge. I like it.
I've
been there.
You got some facts
What
for
was
us
the other
there?
one? The Milford Plaza jingle.
Yeah,
I always,
right.
Yeah, we
I
had
was-
that. We had that one queued.
That was
enjoy-
actually cute.
I always enjoyed that one.
And, you know, for listeners that don't know, Mount Airy Lodge was a Poconos resort. It was kind of the Catskills of
Sure.
Pennsylvania.
Sure.
Podcast favorites like Milton Berle, Nipsey Russell, and Connie Francis played there. And the commercial was kind of famous for that champagne glass jacuzzi. You know, as kids, we would watch that commercial and want to go up there and beg our parents to go swim in that jacuzzi that was probably covered in layers of
yes.
DNA. And,
I don't want to get in a jacuzzi Nipsey Russell had been in.
All right.
Okay, was
so
that was a Milstein or a Seidel?
That was me.
That was a
but,
Seidel.
you know, it's
yeah,
both.
Yeah, that wasn't really a 45, but I'll let you stretch the premise.
I also remember those years when I was a kid of those billboards that would have a picture of Jerry Lewis saying Browns is my favorite resort.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
All right.
This is fun.
This is me.
I haven't guessed one of these fuckers yet. Paul?
Jesus, I don't know.
Gilly?
It sounds so familiar.
Ramones-esque.
Yeah.
That's because it is the Ramones.
Okay.
Well, that's one reason.
All right. So far, I've guessed Ramones and Burgess Meredith.
Which two that always go together.
They do. They were great together.
All right. So, Gilbert, you know you're one of the surviving Ramones?
Yes.
Gilbert Ramone?
Yeah.
So who else is still alive?
That's someone. I was talking to someone recently trying to figure out.
Timmy Ramone?
Timmy? What?
There was no Timmy.
What? There was a Timmy?
Frank's just making shit up.
Freddie Ramone? He's still there?
Freddie Ramone.
All right. So CJ is still alive, the bass player, second bass player.
Okay.
Elvis Ramone, who
Okay.
is Clem Burke from Blondie.
Very good.
And then Richie Ramone, who was also one of the drummers.
Excellent.
And then there's Zeppo.
Yeah, there was Zeppo. Yep.
That was actually a question I was going to ask.
And Tito.
From your time in the Ramones, who, if they were the Marx Brothers, who would be Chico?
Aren't you flattered that they've done so much research, not into the show, but into your career?
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Yes.
Now, from that, what was that, from Up All Night? Or
Yes, Up All Night.
Uh-huh. So in the beginning of that, you're on Avenue B and 2nd Street.
Yeah.
Outside of what used to be called the gas station, which was like a club that was kind of made out of garbage.
Yeah.
And my brother actually lived diagonally across the street. That was a colorful area.
Yes.
At the time.
Yeah.
Do you
Back
remember
in those
anything?
days.
I can't imagine being there with a video crew.
Yes. I don't think we left with all of our cameras.
That was an interesting hood. Okay, is Milstein next?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the penultimate.
Because I used to live on Avenue A.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another funny thing about that song, actually, the lyrics were originally, I'm a Nazi baby, I'm a Nazi baby. And I think Seymour Stein was like, we're not having you sing, I'm a Nazi baby. So if you listen to it, he says, I'm a Nazi Shotzi, which is Yiddish for like a little cutie, like a little baby. So
Oh,
he's basically
wow.
saying it anyway.
And speaking of all that, I brought you a little plastic swastika for your 45.
Oh, he brought you a 45 adapter.
Wow.
Oh, Gil, you made out tonight. So nice. They did all this prep and they brought swag. They brought
Okay.
gifts. Thank you for using the word penultimate correctly.
All right, here's the penultimate number.
Two live crew.
Yes, correct. And who is that guest vocalist?
Gilbert knows.
I'm going to play the beginning again so he can listen closely.
Gil,
Here we go.
Who is being sampled in this record?
Oh.
If you were DJ Gilbert, what would you have sampled?
Yeah, what would you
The
have
beat.
sampled to get the top? To get the top?
Queuing it back up. Here we
Go
go.
ahead. Who is it?
Oh, love you long time. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Yes. Papillon Susu. Yes.
If only she knew.
Oh.
He was also a hip hop star in addition
Yes.
to an actress and a prostitute.
Yeah.
So does our lawyer?
That was a hit.
Yeah. Does our lawyer want to say a little something about that song?
Oh, that's right. So on that, that album is called "As Nasty as They Want to Be." It was the first, and I think to date only album ever declared legally obscene.
Interesting.
In America, yeah.
When Tipper Gore was out hunting,
Yep.
headhunting. Nice choice. We were just talking about Papillon about 35 minutes ago before you guys
See,
walked in the room.
because the problem, I've wanted her on the show since we started, and Frank keeps saying to me, he goes, well, what are you gonna say? You know, get her to say me so horny and that's it. And I said, well, yeah.
You can ask her what could you get for
she'll love it.
$10.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be so flattered. She'll tell all her friends.
And I'm sure no one else has ever asked her to say that before.
Oh boy, oh boy.
It's probably, I think it would probably be like getting in Jimmy Walker and say, come on, scream, Dynamite! Yeah.
I said you could do your Bill Dana Sue, see?
Yeah,
You do
yes.
your bit with her.
Was a woman on Sopranos, Christopher. That was another one. What was her name?
Well, that wasn't Bill Dana's bit. It was Mel Blanc's bit.
Mel Blanc,
Yeah, right.
Who died 30 years ago yesterday,
Very good.
the day of this taping. at
Wow.
See, now you're taking over the Gilbert part of bringing the room.
Is there one left?
Yes,
Oh.
the final one. It's a short one.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
You're going to have hard time topping that one. It's Tara's theme from the
Yeah, Gone with the Wind.
$1 million
But now what-
movie.
what else
What else
was
might
it?
it be known
$1 million
for?
movie.
$1 million
yeah.
movie.
Yes.
$1 million movie.
Great piece
There
of
you
music.
go.
We picked this one because this was sort of the going to bed hour
Yeah.
at one point in New York City.
Oh boy, you guys are taking me back.
Who wrote it?
Max
Yeah.
Steiner, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Next
I
time.
think Max Steiner.
From King Kong. And
Check me out on that, Paul. Make sure I'm right.
wasn't he also oh God, the Humphrey Bogart and
Casablanca.
no, with the gold.
Treasure of
Treasure
Sierra
of
Madre.
Treasure
Sierra
Sierra.
Madre.
He did the music for that too, didn't he? Dun 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 dun.
You show me one other podcast that's going to get Mount Airy Lodge, Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and two live crews, Me So Horny, in the same episode. It doesn't exist. Paul, how we doing on that? Was it Max Steiner, in fact?
I haven't got it yet.
But
We're
he's got
gonna
another record
do another
recommendation.
episode while waiting for Paul. Guys, this was terrific.
This was great.
Yeah, it was great,
Yeah.
great fun.
What wonderful prep. How many of those were actual records?
Oh,
I think most of these, yeah.
Most
Most
of
of
them.
them. I mean, you know-
I actually have the Mr. Belvedere on vinyl. that's
It sounds way better on vinyl.
Television's
It
greatest
does.
hits.
Yep.
It
Volume
does.
6, Remote Control.
Yep.
The
TVT Records, 1996.
All right, let me see how fast. Let me show Paul how it's done. I just
And-
started
and
looking
the
it up.
other
Go
thing
with
that-
the Searchers,
the other
Casablanca,
music-
A Summer Place.
Yeah, but but was it Tara's theme? Who composed it? While we're waiting for Paul,
if you'd like to go out and jog or learn, if you'd like to learn,
Max Steiner. How long did that take me?
yeah.
22 seconds.
If you'd like to master the cello,
Almost got it. Don't sign off yet. I think I've got it.
This was very entertaining.
There was also that other one that depressed me because it meant it was late, and that was, and I forget the name. Da 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 da
Oh, the syncopated clock. Is that the name
Yes,
of that?
yes.
Yeah.
That was another depressing.
Yeah. Well, we all lived through the days when television went off the air.
Yes, that was
The
suicidal.
Pledge of Allegiance and then static.
There's a Billy Joel song called "Sleeping with the Television On" that ends with the Star Spangled Banner, and then you hear the boo white noise, and it's just so dated.
And then go.
Yeah. Those were sad days for when you were an insomniac,
Oh, and
no
that,
VCRs in those days. It's not like you could fire up a movie.
Those were like suicide. I think people would probably commit suicide at that point.
Between 12 and 4 a.m.
Yes.
What's another pop song that references television going off the air in the middle of the night?
Is that
Zach.
100 channels and there's nothing on?
No, Dean Friedman's Ariel. You know that song?
No.
Okay. Well, that's one for the listeners.
Oh, you
I
know
thought
what?
two guys like you would know it.
I had one quick question for you guys. When we talked about when I did the my obscure record collection,
Yeah.
we talked about the "Please Please Me" and "Love Me Do" that
Right.
are credited as McCartney and Lennon.
Yeah, I knew
and then
that
you
one.
mentioned one other example. of that.
In the mid to late 90s, McCartney did a record called Paul is Live, I believe. And that one, he switched them around to piss off Yoko.
Yeah. Funny.
Oh, I just
Fantastic.
that reminds me of something else. We did a whole show about story records.
Story
And
songs.
Story songs, yeah.
we left out Rocky Raccoon.
Rocky Raccoon fell
there
back
you
in his
go.
room only to
There you
find
go.
Gideon's
Well, there are a million
Yes.
Beatle ones we could have done.
Yes,
There's so
yeah.
many.
Yeah.
There's so many. Obla Di Obla Da is a story song.
Yeah.
You really want to get technical. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This was
Thanks.
this was an
Great
absolute
episode.
treat.
Great episode.
Yeah, really. For a Jew and a Gentile, Gilbert.
Yeah. Okay, just give credit to the Jew.
I do want to thank you, Gilbert, because if it wasn't for you, I mean, I probably was the only 10-year-old in Brooklyn that knew who Kurt Waldheim was. So I appreciate that.
Kurt Waldheim and Joyce DeWitt in the same bit,
Yeah.
as I recall. Dave Milstein, super fan. Dave Seidel, engineer extraordinaire, big helper to us. Thank you guys for this. This was an
Thank you.
absolute
This was
treat.
fun.
Sorry we only guessed 1 out of 60. Gil?
Oh. Well, you'll say their names.
I just did.
Yeah, it's okay.
Why don't you
Well,
sign off?
I don't fucking pay attention. This has been Gilbert and Frank's Amazing Colossal Obsession.
Thanks, guys.